Welcome to our defense briefing show, folks. Today we've got some explosive news from the Solomon Islands, where an old WWII bomb unexpectedly went off in the capital, Honiara. The blast caused a lot of panic among residents, with one person injured. The region is riddled with unexploded ordnance from the war, and authorities are racing against time to clear these dangerous remnants. Stay tuned as we keep an eye on how they handle this ticking time bomb. Next up, in a move to beef up domestic security, the US is training new rapid response teams within the National Guard across all 50 states. Over 23,000 troops will learn crowd control and non-lethal tactics, ready to deploy within hours if civil unrest erupts. This initiative is part of a broader effort to prepare for potential riots and protests, reflecting a more active military role in maintaining order at home. Full implementation is set for early 2026, so keep watching for updates. And in a lighter but equally interesting story, President Trump threw a festive Halloween bash at the White House. Kids and guests dressed as superheroes, dinosaurs, and even presidential lookalikes, enjoying treats and decorations despite ongoing political and economic challenges. It's a reminder that even in turbulent times, a little holiday cheer can go a long way. Please continue to stay with us as we delve deeper into these stories and more. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation reports that a WWII-era bomb unexpectedly detonated in the Solomon Islands capital, Honiara, causing chaos and panic among residents. The explosion, which injured a young man near the rugby stadium, was believed to have been triggered by a fire that had been burning close to the unexploded ordnance for days. Local witnesses, including Robert Aroga, described the blast as a huge boom that sent shockwaves through the area, highlighting the persistent danger posed by the remnants of World War II. The Solomon Islands, scarred by past conflicts, still grapple with thousands of unexploded bombs left behind by Allied and Japanese forces, making everyday activities risky, especially in areas where fires or other disturbances could ignite these hidden threats. The Associated Press details a significant shift in U.S. military strategy, revealing that the National Guard in all 50 states and territories has been ordered to develop quick reaction forces, trained specifically to handle civil unrest and riots. These units, often numbering around 500 troops each, are being equipped with non-lethal crowd control tools such as batons, shields, stun guns, and pepper spray, with the goal of rapid deployment within hours. This initiative, part of President Trump's broader vision to involve the military more actively in domestic issues, is driven by an executive order signed in August, aiming for the forces to be operational by 2026. The move has stirred controversy as it expands the military's role on U.S. soil, amid ongoing legal challenges to previous deployments in cities like Portland and Chicago, emphasizing the administration's intent to prepare for potential civil disturbances with a highly responsive force. The Associated Press also reports that despite the ongoing government shutdown, President Trump hosted a lively Halloween celebration at the White House, attracting hundreds of children and families dressed in costumes ranging from superheroes to princesses. The event, set against the backdrop of construction on a new White House ballroom and a government in limbo, saw Trump and Melania handing out candy and greeting guests in casual attire, with neither in costume. The celebration was a rare moment of normalcy amid political turmoil, with children dressed as iconic characters like Spider-Man and Captain America, and even some wearing USA hats similar to the president's. The festive atmosphere persisted despite the political deadlock, illustrating the White House's effort to maintain traditions and bring joy to families during a time of national uncertainty. The Associated Press reports that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has initiated a significant mobilization of military legal talent, ordering the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps to identify and assign dozens of attorneys and paralegals to support the Justice Department's efforts along the U.S.-Mexico border and in Memphis. This move, part of a broader strategy, aims to bolster federal immigration enforcement and legal operations, with the military's judge advocates expected to handle immigration and administrative law cases. The memo, emphasizing the need for experienced legal professionals, signals an increased military-civilian collaboration, although the precise roles and impact on military justice remain unclear. The Pentagon and Justice Department both expressed pride and support for this initiative, framing it as a national priority, but questions linger about how involuntary mobilizations might affect military legal resources and the armed forces' internal justice system. CNN details the surprising and controversial decision by President Donald Trump to order the resumption of nuclear testing after a 33-year hiatus, a move that caught many advisors off guard. Trump's social media announcement indicated that the testing would begin immediately, citing concerns over other nations' nuclear capabilities, notably China and Russia. This unexpected directive raises questions because the U.S. Department of Energy traditionally manages nuclear testing, and experts suggest that modern computer simulations could suffice for stockpile maintenance. The military's top nuclear officer, Vice Admiral Richard Carrell, publicly downplayed the significance of Trump's statement, indicating no immediate plans for tests and emphasizing that the president's words did not necessarily mean an actual resumption of testing. The potential implications of such a move could destabilize international treaties, provoke China to resume testing, and undermine decades of nuclear non-proliferation efforts, highlighting Trump's unpredictable approach to nuclear policy amid rising global tensions. CBC reports on a heartfelt apology from the Canadian Armed Forces CAF for systemic racism, discrimination, and harassment faced by Indigenous, Black, Asian, and other racialized members throughout its history. During a ceremony in Ottawa, Chief of Defense Staff General Jenny Carignan acknowledged the failures of the military to provide an inclusive environment and expressed regret for the mistreatment and systemic barriers that marginalized service members endured. The apology was accompanied by calls for meaningful transformative change, with retired Indigenous, Black, and Asian veterans emphasizing that words alone are insufficient. They seek deep, lasting reforms. The CKF has committed to addressing biases, integrating anti-racism training, and fostering a more equitable culture, recognizing that the scars of discrimination are still present and that ongoing conversations, training, and policy changes are essential to healing and progress. The ceremony underscored the importance of honoring those who served despite adversity and the need for the military to confront its past to build a more just future. According to Yahoo US, the U.S. Navy has recently undergone a significant leadership change, replacing Rear Admiral Kurt Rothenhaus, who has served as the Chief of Naval Research since June 2023, with Rachel Riley, a civilian with a background that includes working as a senior advisor at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and a former partner at McKinsey. Riley's appointment is noteworthy because of her previous role at HHS as part of DOG, a department involved in government efficiency initiatives, and her expertise in acquisition, technology, and organizational restructuring. The transition raises questions about the future direction of naval research, especially given Riley's recent involvement in large-scale organizational reforms at HHS, including a controversial effort to cut thousands of jobs, which illustrates her experience in managing complex high-stakes projects. The Navy expressed confidence in her capabilities and welcomed her to the team, signaling a strategic move to bring civilian expertise into key military research roles. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation reports on the tragic aftermath of the ongoing conflict in Gaza, where children like Yatia and Nabila have been severely injured after mistaking unexploded Israeli bombs for toys. These innocent victims highlight the devastating consequences of the extensive bombings, with UN specialists estimating that approximately 7,500 tons of unexploded ordnance are scattered across Gaza, posing a persistent threat to civilians. The scale of the danger is compounded by the fact that more than 40,000 Israeli airstrikes have targeted Gaza since October 2024, leaving a landscape riddled with remnants of war, many of which are unexploded and potentially deadly. Humanitarian efforts are hampered by the dense urban environment, debris, and the sophisticated nature of modern munitions, which often do not detonate on impact. Experts warn that clearing Gaza of these remnants could take 20 to 30 years, emphasizing the immense challenge faced by international teams working to make the area safe again amid ongoing conflict and limited access. CBC details the recent developments in the fragile Gaza ceasefire, where Hamas has returned the bodies of 2 more Israeli hostages amidst ongoing violence. Despite the temporary truce, tensions remain high as Israeli forces launched new strikes in response to attacks, resulting in dozens of Palestinian casualties, including women and children. The complex negotiations involve the exchange of hostages and the recovery of remains, with Hamas accused of delaying the return of all bodies, a situation that deeply troubles families eager for closure. The broader context involves unresolved issues like Hamas's disarmament and the future governance of Gaza, with both sides blaming each other for violations of the ceasefire. The ongoing military operations, coupled with the displacement of over 2 million Gazans and fears of renewed hostilities, underscore the volatile environment and the enormous human toll of this protracted conflict. According to Foreign Policy, Donald Trump's recent Asia trip was a strategic move that bolstered U.S. defense collaborations across the region, with significant deals inked with South Korea, Japan, Malaysia, and the Philippines, including a $2.3 billion aircraft warning system for Seoul and accelerated missile deliveries to Tokyo. The trip also saw the U.S. lifting an arms embargo on Cambodia and renewing military exercises, signaling a recalibration of regional security ties. Trump's provocative announcement on Truth Social about starting nuclear weapons testing sparked alarm as it contradicted the decades-long moratorium and raised concerns about a potential arms race amid China and Russia's recent nuclear activities. Meanwhile, the trip coincided with a controversial troop withdrawal from Eastern Europe, drawing bipartisan criticism, and was overshadowed by Trump's unorthodox call to immediately begin testing nuclear weapons, a move that unsettled global stability. In Washington, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang praised Trump's energy policies and expressed optimism about U.S. AI dominance, underscoring how the Trump era's focus on technological and military strength continues to influence both diplomacy and industry. The week's geopolitical landscape was further complicated by ongoing conflicts in Gaza and the South China Sea, and domestic political developments, including upcoming elections and a Supreme Court case challenging Trump's tariffs, all amidst a backdrop of heightened global tensions and strategic realignments.
Thank you for tuning in.
The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopsis thoughtfully curated by the 6DO team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of Sixth Deal Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the Sixth Deal team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize Sixth Deal Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, sixthdealbrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive Sixth Deal Brief via email.
News breaks, buzz the ground, stories spin, walls come down, voices merge in the sound, faces mix in the crowd, broadcasters paint the scene, world events on our screen, every link a different theme, words collide in the stream, 6 degrees connect the dots, background stories more than us. Hear the voices rise aloft. Truth unveils in every spot. Cultures clash across the globe. Spin the threads in a strobe. Every story wears a robe. Truth and lies in their code. Journalists dig real deep. Secrets out, they don't sleep. Every angle they'll keep. In the news we take a leap. New perspectives day by day.